Welcome back to Revise and Resubmit, the podcast that takes, those really dense academic papers and makes them surprisingly interesting. I'm Pavlov.
And I'm Nikita.
And today we're taking a look at some research straight from the reading list of, get this, the Virtual Summer School in Entrepreneurship Research 2025 edition.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. 5 years running now. Remember when it kicked off back in 2021?
Totally, and it's become this amazing resource, completely free, completely packed with insights. Huge thanks to Professor Vishal K. Gupta and PhD candidate Athena Skiadopoulou, both from the University of Alabama. You two are rocking it.
Seriously, kudos to them for spearheading this whole thing.
Yeah.
So this paper you sent over, it really dives deep into what makes people want to be social entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah, it gets into the nitty-gritty of their motivations. It's called Feeling Capable and Valued, a pro-social perspective on the link between empathy and social entrepreneurial intentions.
By Sophie Bacq and Bacq Alt, published in the Journal of Business Venturing back in 2018.
That's the one. And I ask a big question. When someone sees a problem out there, what pushes them beyond just caring? What makes them want to launch a whole venture to fix it?
Right, that's the puzzle. How does empathy, which we often connect to social entrepreneurs, actually turn into that drive to build a social enterprise? It's not automatic. Plenty of empathetic people don't become entrepreneurs, so what's the missing link? What's the secret sauce?
Exactly. It's not like, boom, empathy equals instant business plan. And it's interesting. Traditional entrepreneurship research is often all about the individual's gain making money, being their own boss.
But here, the argument is different. To truly get social entrepreneurs, we need to ditch that self-centered view.
So we need a new lens.
They call it a pro-social lens, one that recognizes this fundamental human need to help others. The core idea. Social entrepreneurship isn't about profit, it's about that desire to make a difference.
Okay, so empathy as a starting point. The paper says something many of us probably already think, that empathy is kind of a hallmark of social entrepreneurs, separating them from those traditional business folks.
Exactly, and this fits with loads of psych research connecting empathy, that ability to really share someone else's feelings with what we call helping behaviors.
And just to be clear, the paper defines social entrepreneurship as going after a social mission, using innovative resources to create lasting positive benefits for society. The focus isn't personal gain, it's helping those in need.
Spot on. Now, Bacq Alt, they looked at two specific parts of empathy. First, perspective taking. That cognitive ability to walk in someone else's shoes, understand their situation from their viewpoint.
And second, empathic concern. More about emotions, like warmth and compassion, when you see someone struggling.
The cool thing is, they propose that both of these can spark social change. Really understanding someone's perspective or feeling that compassion for their hardship, it can lead to internalizing helping norms, basically, believing that helping is important.
Makes sense. And I guess if you're an empathetic person, you might also picture feeling good, positive emotions, satisfaction from helping others. That anticipation, the paper suggests, can also motivate, push people towards those early intentions of being a social entrepreneur.
But as we mentioned, empathy alone isn't enough. And this is where the paper's main point shines through. It says empathy needs two special mechanisms to work.
Lay it on me. What are those missing links?
The first is social entrepreneurial self-efficacy. It's your confidence in your own skills, your ability to do what it takes to be a successful social entrepreneur. Identifying social problems, crafting solutions, making them happen. It's that feeling of, I got this, I can make a difference. Like imagine someone seeing a community with no clean water. Their empathy might spark the idea, but their self-efficacy is the belief that they can design and build that filtration system.
So it's not just caring about the problem, it's believing you can actually do something about it. What's the second one?
Social worth. This one's more outward looking. It's your sense of being valued by others, especially those you're trying to help. That feeling of connection, that your work is recognized and appreciated by that community. Like our clean water entrepreneur getting positive feedback from folks whose health is improving because of their work.
Self-efficacy is like, I can do it. And social worth is like, my efforts matter to others.
The paper mentions these align with some broader psychology concepts, right?
Totally. Agency, that self-focus, mastering your skills, and communion, that other focus, connecting, belonging. The authors say we need both to understand what drives a social entrepreneur, that I can do it and my work matters to others combination.
Okay, so how does empathy fuel this self-efficacy for social entrepreneurship? How does caring translate into believing you can make a difference?
Well, they suggest strong perspective taking is key. If you really get the needs and challenges of those you want to help, you're better equipped to find solutions. And that understanding can naturally boost your confidence. It's like, I see the problem clearly, so I'm more likely to find a solution and feel good implementing it.
Makes perfect sense. Now, what about empathic concern? Where does feeling compassion fit in? The authors say that genuine care and concern can actually reduce your own stress when facing others' suffering. Instead of being overwhelmed, that compassion gives you resilience, determination. It's like that compassion gives you inner strength, making you feel ready to tackle tough social issues through entrepreneurship.
So feeling capable is one piece. How does that self-efficacy, that belief in your abilities, then drive the actual intention to start a social venture?
This builds on a lot of entrepreneurship research. Believing in your ability to do something, in this case, tackling a social problem with a sustainable solution makes launching a venture seem achievable. Feeling capable makes it feel doable.
Right. If you don't think you can pull it off, you're probably not going to seriously plan to do it. But there's an extra layer here, right? The paper says it's not just about general business competence.
Exactly. In social entrepreneurship, it's also about feeling competent in helping others. It links that self-belief right back to that core pro-social motivation, wanting to be good at making a real difference.
Okay, let's look at social worth now. How does empathy, understanding, and feeling for others build that sense of being valued by the very people you're aiming to help?
Perspective taking plays a big part again. If you truly grasp the viewpoints, needs, and challenges of those who might benefit from your venture, you're better at anticipating your impact. And seeing yourself making a positive difference leads to feeling valued for your efforts. It's like, I know what they need, so when I provide it, they'll recognize and value it.
The paper had an interesting finding about empathic concern and social worth. Their study didn't find a direct statistical link.
That's curious. While their data didn't directly connect compassion with feeling valued, the idea is still there. If you're driven to alleviate suffering, there's an implicit expectation that your efforts will be appreciated by those you're helping.
So even without that direct statistical link for empathic concern, the principle that wanting to help often includes wanting to be valued for it still makes sense. So how does this social worth, feeling valued by those you want to serve, actually inspire someone to take the plunge and become a social entrepreneur?
It taps into a deep human need. We want to belong, to feel like our contributions matter. When you're valued by those you're trying to help, it reinforces that your work is meaningful, necessary, and that it'll have a real impact. It's not just personal satisfaction, it's seeing that you're making a tangible difference. That purpose, that validation, it's a powerful push towards social entrepreneurship.
So they had this whole model connecting empathy to social entrepreneurial intentions through self-efficacy and social worth. And then they went and tested it, right?
Yeah. They surveyed 281 university students taking social entrepreneurship courses. What's cool is they got data from two very different places, the northeastern U.S. and South Africa.
Diverse sample, that's good. What exactly did they measure and when?
They started by measuring empathy, both perspective taking and empathic concern, right at the beginning of the courses. Then, towards the end, they measured social entrepreneurial self-efficacy, social worth, and intentions to actually start a social venture.
Did their data back up their model?
It did, big time. Their analysis showed that empathy doesn't directly lead to social entrepreneurial intentions. It works through those two mechanisms we talked about, self-efficacy and social worth. Empathy's the spark, but it needs those feelings of capability and value to really drive the intention.
So basically, empathy makes you feel more capable of tackling problems and more valued for your efforts, and those feelings drive the intention to be a social entrepreneur.
Exactly. They found empathic concern was a strong predictor of self-efficacy. More compassion meant more confidence in their ability to act, and that self-efficacy, in turn, predicted their intention to start a venture. Separately, they found perspective-taking predicted social worth, and feeling valued also boosted their social entrepreneurial intentions.
The paper even says the link between empathy and those intentions is fully mediated by these two factors. It's not like empathy has its own separate influence.
That's huge. It means that how you feel, capable and valued, is the main way empathy influences your desire to be a social entrepreneur. Those feelings are the key pathways.
So big picture, what does this research tell us about social entrepreneurship?
Well, it screams that pro-social motives are crucial. It's not just about finding a market gap or a business chance. It's about a genuine desire to help, a total shift. It's not about profit, it's about the desire to help.
And it emphasizes how individuals see themselves in the social world. both as agents who can make things happen, agency, and as connected members of a community whose efforts are valued, communion. Both are vital for entrepreneurial intentions, especially for social impact.
The cool thing is, the study shows us how empathy translates into action. By pinpointing self-efficacy and social worth as those middle steps, we get a much clearer picture of the psychology behind it.
And for those teaching and supporting future social entrepreneurs, this is important, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's not enough to just talk about problems and encourage empathy. Educators and support organizations need to help students believe in their own abilities to create solutions. And they need to create opportunities for aspiring entrepreneurs to connect with the communities they want to serve, to feel valued by them. That feeling of making a real difference, especially for those who are good at understanding others' perspectives, can be a massive motivator.
So for you, the learner, having empathy for social issues isn't the whole story.
Right. Your belief in your own ability to create change, that I can do this feeling, and your sense of being valued by those you're trying to help, that my work matters. Feeling those are the crucial links that connect your empathy to actually starting that social venture.
And here's the twist. The study suggests different aspects of empathy might be stronger for different feelings.
It's fascinating, really. The emotional side of empathy, that compassion, seems to fuel your belief in your ability to act effectively. But the cognitive side, understanding others' viewpoints, is more connected to feeling like you're making a valued contribution.
Makes you think, right? When you consider the issues you care about, are you focusing more on building skills and confidence to tackle them? Or on understanding those affected to make sure your efforts are meaningful and valued by them?
Maybe both are essential, but thinking about which one's stronger for you can shape how you approach making an impact.
We've just scratched the surface here. The paper has tons more detail about their methods and findings. They even discuss some limitations and areas for future research, like exploring specific emotions or how different contexts matter. So if you're hooked, the full paper is a goldmine.
And don't forget to subscribe to Revise and Resubmit on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you're enjoying the show and want to support us in creating more insightful content, consider becoming a patron on Patreon. Every contribution helps us continue this journey of exploration and discovery. Until next time, keep those minds curious, keep questioning, and keep revising and resubmitting.